שלום לכולם, ותודה רבה לאלי ולצוות מטל, שותפים ועמיתים שלנו כבר מספר שנים. תודה רבה שהצעתם את האירוע הזה, אנחנו שמחים להיות פה. אני אוליבר, מנכ"ל נאוטק, אנחנו מובילים פתרונות תקשורת לעבודה היברידית, פעילים בענף התקשורת האחודה מאז 2004, ונציגים של מספר חברות מובילות בתחום החומרה והתוכנה, הבולטת שבהן עם זום. היום, הוובינר המשותף שלנו עם מטל, נציג את הפתרונות של זום לעולם האקדמיה, פתרונות ללמידה מרחוק וללמידה היברידית, המשתללים והמתפתחים כל הזמן. כפי שאתם רואים, זהו וובינר. אתם יכולים לצפות בנו, אך אנחנו לא יכולים לשמוע או לראות אתכם. נשמח אם תשלחו שאלות דרך כפתור ה-Q&A שבסרגל הכלים, ונענה על כמה שיותר מהן בסיום. בנוסף, תוכלו להפעיל כתובות בעברית באמצעות הכפתור CC, Close Caption. אלי, תרצה להגיד כמה מילים?
כן, תודה אוליבר, תודה לצוות נאוטק על שיתוף הפעולה ובאמת על הנכונות להשתתף במפגש הזה. אני אלי שמואלי ממיטל, מרכז ידע לטכנולוגיות למידה, היחידה שייכת למחבה ובעצם מקדמת את טכנולוגיות למידה בהשכלה הגבוהה. אנחנו פועלים במגוון רחב של תחומים, מימי עיון ומפגשים ווובינרים סביב הטכנולוגיה והפדגוגיה בהשכלה הגבוהה, ועד הסל טכנולוגיות שאנחנו מציעים למוסדות לשימוש מאוד נרחב במוסדות. אנחנו מזמינים אתכם להכיר את הסל הזה בעצם וללמוד אותו ולשלב את הכלים והטכנולוגיות לשיפור ההוראה והלמידה. אני רוצה להגיד כמה מילים על היוזמה הזאת ועל מטרה של המפגש הזה. מבחינתנו בנקודת מבט של מיטל, אנחנו מציעים את זום בעזרת נאוטק למוסדות, למגוון מאוד רחב של מוסדות, ובעצם ממכללות שונות ועד אוניברסיטאות, והשימוש בזום הוא, כפי שכולנו יודעים, הוא מאוד מאוד נרחב ורחב במוסדות. אנחנו מבקשים את המפגש הזה, ובאמת בתקשורת שלנו מול נאוטק, לחשוב ביחד איזה כלים ואיך הכלים האלה יכולים לסייע בהוראה ולמידה, מה השיפורים שיש, מה היכולות, מה החידושים, ובעצם מכיוון שזום זה כלי מאוד מאוד דומיננטי במוסדות, אנחנו רוצים ללמוד ולהכיר את היכולות, את השימושים, את העדכונים, את החידושים. כולנו היום יודעים ש-AI נכנס באינטנסיביות ואיך זה משתלב בכל האופרציה הזאת, ובעצם להציע פה כלי שהוא סינכרוני, ללמידה סינכרונית, עם יכולות עדכניות, ומפעם לפעם אנחנו נפגשים עם נאוטק שמציגה לנו מהם החידושים בכלים האלו. כפי שציינתי, הזום היא מערכת מאוד מאוד דומיננטית במוסדות, ולכן חשוב לנו מפעם לפעם להתעדכן ולהכיר את החידושים ואת היכולות. אנחנו נמשיך את היום העיון הזה, וכפי שאוליבר ציין, במידה ויהיו שאלות למיטל, לפעילות שלנו, אפשר לשאול אותם בצ'אט, אפשר לפנות אלינו בסיום המפגש, וכמובן מוזמנים לפנות אלינו במייל ובדרך האתר. אז אני מחזיר את הבמה לאוליבר, ותודה רבה על שיתוף הפעולה, גם לצוות מיטל וגם לצוות של נאוטק, על היום עיון הזה.
תודה, אלי. אנחנו נעבור ברשותכם עבור קאט לאנגלית, כדי שגם הקולגות שלנו בזום יוכלו להצטרף אלינו. We have יוהאן צימרן from Zoom here with us, and he's a senior industry marketing lead for state and local government and education at Zoom. We also have Dr. Lance Ford, Zoom Room educator at Zoom. Yוהאן and Dr. Ford will present Zoom's latest innovation for higher education, including practical AI-powered tools designed to enhance teaching and learning, as well as Zoom advanced ecosystem for academic institutions. Yvonne, thank you for waking up early to join us. It's just after 6 a.m. in San Francisco. Thank you very much. Please take it away.
Shalom and Boker Tov from San Francisco. It is indeed just 6 o'clock here in San Francisco, but I'm glad to be with you and thank you for inviting us to present today's session. We have this normal slide that we have to share at all of our webinars and all of our presentations. It's a safe harbor statement that anything that we do say may or may not come true in the future, and it's just a way that Zoom handles any information that is forward-looking, especially when we talk about things that have not yet been released. I am based in San Francisco. I've been with Zoom for a little over 4 years, and I've been looking after education predominantly. While I do state and local government and K-12 to some degree, it is really higher education that has been at the sweet spot of what Zoom has done in the past and what we're currently doing. And we truly believe that we can help educational customers utilize our technology to enhance the services that they provide internally to their faculty, to their staff, and most importantly, to their students. And we do believe that it's around human connections that make those differences. Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody's talking about how AI can enhance what we do. It is not meant to replace anyone. We are not looking to replace teachers. We're trying to figure out how to use and leverage this new technology that all of us are still learning about. How we can harness that in research, in campus communications, and dealing with student services, and most importantly, how to deal with that from a teaching and learning and pedagogy perspective. Traditionally, and many of you have probably come to learn about Zoom in the early days when it was just about teaching and learning, and especially during the pandemic, that was where most of the focus was placed from Zoom's perspective. Zoom had started out of the video conferencing environment back in 2011 when Eric Yuan was not able to change Cisco's belief in the WebEx platform. He was actually head of engineering at WebEx and decided to create his own company in order to build a better product, an easier to use product that eventually helped third graders in grammar school, elementary school, and octogenarians to leverage the power of video conferencing. And that was just the beginning. We've built an entire platform that I will go into a little bit more detail here in a second. But for some of you who may not be just in the teaching and learning environment, who might be responsible for other services, we are really looking to expand everything that Zoom does into student engagements, into professional development. We have Zoom Room facilities and AV integration that can help with emergency notifications. We help with administrative productivity and so forth, all the way into alumni relations where we need to do support for institutions that look to raise money through alumni fundraising activities. So Zoom can be leveraged across an entire campus in higher education, and it's really helpful to understand all of the different components that make up what we now know today as Zoom Workplace for Education. That is the new terminology. Some of you may have known Zoom One briefly. There was a brief branding around Zoom One that then switched into Zoom Workplace. And Zoom Workplace is kind of the base portfolio of products that can help you at an institution. And beyond that, there's add-on technologies that make that a more powerful enterprise platform altogether. But what started back in 2011 around meetings, webinars, and you're experiencing the webinar platform today, and adding Team Chat, which is competing with Slack and Microsoft Team Chat. But that was just the beginning. And then Zoom said, what do we need to do to focus 100% on the communication platform? How do we help people talk to each other, work with each other, collaborate? How do we teach remotely in hybrid fashions or even in-person environments? And that led Zoom to kind of focus on, to some degree, productivity, but also, or most importantly, collaboration. We added telephony. We have Zoom phone technology. We added digital signage. Dr. Ford is an evangelist in the Zoom Room integration and deals a lot with universities that have digital signage all across campus, in individual rooms, in hallways, in providing wayfinding directions, helping with public transportation schedules or the next Uber delivery that's coming in. All of that is part of what makes a university and running the business of a university. We then got into an app marketplace. Some of you might be familiar with our apps. We have over 300 apps in the education arena that can help your teachers, your faculty members leverage apps like Kahoot or Asana connection, ServiceNow connection. There's lots of different apps that are available for you to use within a Zoom meeting environment. I'm not going to talk about all the products on the slide. You can see that the extensive innovation that's been coming. We just recently, if you look on the very far right side, launched video management. Zoom's video management tool is really meant to bring all of your recordings, your clips, your meeting recordings, your webinar recordings, your event recordings, plus any third-party video content that you might use for instructional design that is asynchronous learning content, brought together in one single place for editing, for managing, for distribution, and for tie-in back into the LTI and your learning management system. And I hear Moodle is prevalent in Israel. But this is kind of giving you a broad overview of where we are. We started with our very first customer, which was Stanford's continuing studies program back in 2011, and we work with universities around the world and some of the very prestigious ones in the United States, including Stanford, Yale, Rutgers, MIT, and many, many others, and universities around the globe that have adopted Zoom as the essence, especially in the academic side. Sometimes universities decide to split, and they use Teams on the administrative side, and they use Zoom on the faculty side. Sometimes they use Zoom for all of their communication on campus. But I want to go for the next 20 minutes or so. I want to talk about what we're doing on the AI side. Everybody's asking about AI. Everybody wants to know how to use AI, how to leverage it in their environments. And each of the many, many products that are presented to you each year are now adding AI tool sets, whether that's inside the learning management system and your student information system, your enterprise systems. AI is here to stay. I don't believe there's any reason to think that AI might go away briefly or long term. And so Zoom is also leveraging AI. We have our own large language model that we use internally, and then we leverage all the language models that are available externally to us, and that's OpenAI, and that's Anthropic and Llama, and so many others. And we're federating the approach. We're using those tools for the right purpose at the right time. Until recently, we've had what we called Zoom AI Companion 2.0. And over the last year, we've added prompts that enhance your learning environment. It's included with your Zoom Workplace license or your Zoom Meeting license, and it provides educators with education-specific formats and prompts within the AI tools to enrich the class experience. That's worked really well for us. Educators are thankful to have those tools, especially around lecture capturing, and I think Dr. Ford will showcase some of those capabilities. And bringing that into the context of education, right? Zoom sells our product solutions to many different industries. We have healthcare-specific ones, we have government-specific ones, but in education, it's a little bit more unique, and we want to make sure that your students and your faculty and your staff members get the right prompts in the right context. We then last year added, or I believe it was this year, a custom AI companion. Everything's happening too fast. Custom AI Companion is going in the direction where you can decide what content the large language model should be pulling data from. That could be for your employees, that could be your HR policies or your mandatory training manuals. For your students, that could be just the lesson plans, just the content needed for a particular class environment. For an IT organization, it could then create a custom AI companion for the IT organization so that others can pull the right information and it doesn't go out randomly to the internet and pulling information that's irrelevant for your institution. And then most recently at Zoomtopia, which is our largest annual conference back in September, we announced AI Companion 3.0, and that's going to take this entire platform yet another step further. We're not resting. We're always trying to figure out what else is needed, and especially my work and Dr. Lansford is in education. So we talk to faculty members, we talk to students, we talk to educators, is what do you need? What is unique to your work? What kind of integration do we need? Interoperability into your learning management system, your student information system, and what kind of information do you want the AI to provide back to you? So that's the journey we're on. I heard that AI Companion is not yet available in Hebrew, and I apologize on behalf of the company. We are working feverishly to make that happen, and Olivier, I believe, is in contact with the team. So as soon as that is happening, we will definitely make sure that we will inform all of you. The newest terminology in AI is around agentic AI. We've all been told there's generative AI and large language models were kind of the big news. Zoom has been using AI from the very beginning. The technology we use to use your background for your Zoom meeting, that's leveraging machine learning and AI. Your audio, the fact that you don't hear background noises when people walk past or the dog barks, that's using AI. And we're now getting into the world of language. And then the next step is the agentic AI piece that deals with reasoning, with memory, with task action and orchestration. And imagine you can send out your AI agent to do work for you. Again, this is not to replace the work that you're doing. It is leveraging AI agentic skills to analyze situations, make decisions, and to improve over time as you're engaging with your agent. It could be something as simple as Dr. Ford and I want to have a meeting with Olivier. We're in different time zones and different regions, and now I'm having the agent figure out exactly what time or day works for us on the calendar, and I'm letting the agent take that action over for me. You will see and hear a lot more about agentic AI. This is just the beginning, but all of the companies involved with AI development are trying to figure out what is this next level and this next stage of AI. The next few slides that I will share before we'll hand the baton to Dr. Ford is a few additional items specific to what is now included in what we call AIC, or the AI Companion, and what is coming in the future. So this is the visuals for our new surface, our work surface for AI Companion 3.0. It is going to be available as a standalone web app. So imagine ChatGPT or Copilot and an app location where you can leverage all of the AI tools the way you would with other partners. And then the AI Companion built into your Zoom client. So hopefully all of you are using the Zoom client and not just logging into meetings using the web browser, but the client is where the power is. The client is where all the tools live that you might want to use in an environment for teaching and learning or in administrative areas. Within the custom AI Companion, and again, this is a separate add-on. This is not included with your general license, but this allows you to create custom content for your stakeholders. You can create an institutional dictionary, you bring your own data, you can tie it to, with interoperability to your existing systems, ServiceNow if you want to do IT tickets in your university. But you can also create your own lecture summary templates and personal avatars. So it's a much more powerful solution that sits on top of your basic Zoom AI Companion and allows you to create really relevant content for your university. Apart from one slide back, apart from the custom piece, we are looking at how AI changes the landscape in your daily life, and whether that is before the meeting, in the meeting, or after the meeting. In education, we're obviously looking at before the class, in the class, and after the class. What is it that I, as a faculty member or professor, need to prepare? What kind of content do I need to bring in? What kind of previous lectures or class sessions have I already had with the students? And what can I do to prepare? And similarly, obviously, the educator and the students have slightly different roles in this methodology, but it is in the context of a lecture and a class that these prompts are helping our educators leverage the content that they have developed. Lecture summaries is, for some of you who may not be using AI yet, is similar to meeting summary. It is a contextually created summary template that helps you with an academic setting. That's not a meeting with action items and business objectives, but it's really about pedagogy. It's about learning artifacts and the homework assignments that need to happen within that. So we will see a lot more of this in the coming months. We're also looking at note-taking, the student in the in-class experience. Many students love joining Zoom calls, either in person or either or in a hybrid or online environment. And there's always the need to take notes. And we now have developed an AI note taker that's coming out later that will allow students to take the notes during the class and then marry that with the AI companion summaries in order to get all the information they need and to prepare for potential testing, formative or summative, at the end of the semester. Another item that is included, I'm sorry, not another item. This is the item I just discussed. This is included now with AI Companion. It automatically generates a concise and structured summary after your class, making it easier for your students to review the class and for the faculty members to have a record of what has happened. Most importantly, this can transfer directly into your learning management system. You would be able to pull this up in Moodle or any other learning management system you might be using. What this screen is showing is something you may not have access to at your institution, but Zoom recently launched Zoom Docs, a very powerful note-taking application that is nothing like Google Docs or Microsoft Word, but it's really a powerful way to retain content that is connected to your meetings, to your recordings, to your transcripts. And we're now leveraging the Docs platform to take that summary and that AI content, and then you can further manipulate it and leverage the AI companion against the content that you have within Docs. If you don't see Docs in your own client today, you can ask your administrator to turn that on the back end for your institution. Coming in 2026, the idea of the teacher assistant, it automates daily teaching tasks. Again, all of the things that I'm showing to you today are meant to enhance what you're already doing. If you spend a lot of time preparing for classes, if you spend a lot of time grading classes, if you spend a lot of time having to think about what all the administrative tasks are apart from your teaching, AI can make that workload easier. You can ask it to help you with structured lesson plans, and Dr. Ford is an educator himself. He's frequently leveraging AI to make his life easier, and he will talk about that in just a second. But this is included with Custom AI Companion. Again, Custom AI, separate from AI Companion, is a paid add-on. And if you want more information, the team at Naaotek can help you out with those. Teaching assistant, I just talked about it. Now, learning assistant, also for Custom AI Companion, that's expected later this year, early next year. And again, the automation of daily tasks and agentic actions to help the students focus on learning. This will help you prepare for classes that are upcoming. You may want to look at your content in the learning management system, other pieces that are non-Zoom related, and leverage your AI throughout the process. We mentioned Zoom Docs. Again, it may not be available to you today, but it is now part of our Zoom family. It is included with every regular Zoom license. It just needs to be turned on by your administrator on the back end. And it too can live in your learning management system. This is an example of an interface from Instructure Canvas. Not sure if Canvas is in great use in Israel, but this would be the same for Moodle. And you can now collaborate with the documents directly in the LMS. We believe that most students live in the LMS. That's where they pick up their homework. That's where they post their assignments. That's where they look at grade assignments. And we believe that what we do is continuously enhance our solution, but at the same time, make sure that it lives within the learning management system, because that's where educators and students live. Also included in AIC are new academic prompts. This has already been released. Teachers can quickly generate quizzes and discussion questions, learning objectives from their own materials. And again, what we are building is contextual in relationship to both elementary, secondary, and post-secondary education. We want to help educators be more effective, productive, make life easier. AI is not meant to replace, it is meant to assist, and that's why it's called the companion. I guess that's where Microsoft called it the Copilot. I did mention earlier the note taker. This is included with AIC, and this is expected to launch again later this year or early next year. Some of you might be familiar with Granola AI or Read AI or Firefly AI. There's lots and lots of different AI tools out there in the world. Students are already using these tools. We just want to make them safer. One of the biggest challenges that universities have today is that students, faculty members, staff members are bringing their own personally owned AI tools, and they then capture information from your institution, from your faculty members. Where does that data live? Where are all these artifacts? How is the student sharing those artifacts? Have you vetted the vendor that's provided that technology? Is that data secure? Have you done a vendor risk assessment? And Zoom really believes that if you are a Zoom user and you use Zoom AI within the Zoom world, that you can centrally control that. Later this year, we're launching an ability for Zoom administrators to turn off any and all other AI tools, so they're not experiencing an online environment where 6 students are all bringing their different personal AI tools into the room, and you can manage it from the administrative setting. So lots to come on this front. We truly believe that Zoom is one of the most secure and most private platform for teaching and learning. There's a whole white paper on how we deal with security. We are not using any of your content to train or teach our large language model or any third-party large language model, and we will continue to keep it that way. One more item, again, this is included in custom AIC, but the idea that wouldn't it be great that if we could have the teachers engage with their own learning and their own improvements? AI can look at your speaking speed, the talk to listening ratio. So if I was getting a grade now on my talk to listening ratio, I would be 0 on listening because I've been talking this entire time, but this is a webinar, so that's normal. But if you were in a teaching environment, you may want to check your own behavior and saying, oh, how did I do in this last class? How did the students behave? How did I engage? What was my longest conversation? What was the talk to listen ratio? And this is something that in many universities is done normally by people who come sit in your class and evaluate you. This is an ability to use the teacher coach for yourself and for your own improvement process. And I think we're coming to the end of my part before I hand it off to Dr. Ford. Custom agents, yet again, one more way to create knowledge and skill databases that are unique. And that are unique to your teacher, your faculty member, unique to your IT department or your health services department, really creating a knowledge data set for those very specific agent skills. Oh, I do have a couple more customized templates. Teacher can use the templates to customize their lecture summaries specifically. And again, this is another custom AI tool. But you can see where Zoom is going with this. We want to make sure this is more relevant, more contextual in a pedagogical setting. We want to make sure that we support different teaching styles. And students are expecting different modalities today. Here in the United States, I think average age of students has gone up to 32. It's a lot of adult learners. They have to take care of children. They have to take care of parents. And we want to make sure that the universities are set up to create learning content that is either live in person or it's hybrid. I'm in the dormitory. I don't have time to attend the 7 a.m. class, and I want to log in remotely, and I want to be in a hybrid environment, or I have no time at all to go to class, and I want to re-listen to the content asynchronously on the weekend. And students now want all these modalities, and they're demanding that from their universities, that the different modalities are available to them at all times. Customers knowledge basis, again, custom AI companion. I may have added a few too many slides for this morning, but just to let you know that we are, first of all, with you, and we'd love to hear your feedback. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat. But the idea is really to look at your needs as an individual educator, as an administrator, and how to help you in the environment. And with that, I'll pass it on to Dr. Ford.
I love being called education evangelist. That's just the coolest thing ever. Thank you, Johan. That was amazing. And welcome to my classroom. You're inside a public school in rural Southeast Oklahoma. I'm about as rural as it gets here. And I say that because school just started about 34 minutes ago. I don't know, you may have seen some students coming through this door and into that door. It's never a dull moment here. I've got about 10 minutes, and I'd really like to focus in on how does this AI stuff come to life in my daily lesson experience? Now, Johan mentioned several learning management systems, and we understand that you all use Moodle. So I'm going to do my dead level best this morning to leverage Moodle. I will tell you, I don't use Moodle all day, every day. So if I have a faux pas, you guys forgive me. This is my little class that I teach teachers with, and I call it faculty training. And you can see that Zoom is plugged in here. Now, this plugin actually came from a website called marketplace.zoom.us. Marketplace.zoom.us. And what you're looking for is a thing called LTI Pro. All right. So if you're interested and you have Moodle and you have Zoom, I would strongly suggest that at least in a sandbox of your Moodle instance, you explore this, because it really brings a whole lot of power to the tools that you already have. And to Johan's point, it puts everything where the teachers and where the students already live. Okay, so I'm going to go inside Moodle real quickly, and here's my plugin right there inside my class. It's called Zoom. I'm going to open it up. Oh, I guess I need to log in again. Sorry about that. And when I log in and open it up, what you're going to see is all of the things that are associated with this particular course that are related to Zoom. Now, Lance, what do you mean by that? I mean whiteboards that were created in class. I mean documents, like Johan said, that were generated from summaries inside my class. I mean videos that were recorded as a part of my class and are automatically published here. Now, lest you think there was a whole lot of work to make this happen, let me show you what I do at the beginning of every semester. And if I have teachers who are uncomfortable doing this, we push this information directly down into their learning management system, in your case, Moodle, for them. So they don't have to do this on their own. I'm going to hit schedule a meeting. We'll call this faculty training with Nowtech, Naotech. All right. We'll say that it starts, we won't make it 9 o'clock. We'll make it 8. I got to make it later than the current time. So let's make it 8:45. Boom, boom, a.m. We'll pretend this class lasts an hour. We'll make it recurring. And again, these are things that you are typically doing inside your Zoom scheduling panel outside learning management system. Realize we're bringing all this right into the learning management system. Now, one of the things that Johan mentioned that I do a lot is Zoom rooms. In fact, I got a massive project this week here on campus with Zoom rooms. And the Zoom room that I have here in my office is called a D10 D7. So it's called the D10 in Dr. Ford's office right there. Johan also mentioned this idea of different types of summary templates. It's not different data, okay? Right now there's a transcript roll. In fact, let me show you this. So everything that I am saying in real time is being transcribed. And if you don't understand English extremely well, you have the opportunity to go down here and choose your speaking language as Hebrew, choose your caption language as Hebrew, and it will do its best to translate my pathetic English attempts this morning into your language. So in real time, all of that is happening. Why is that important in light of lecture summary? Well, in lecture summary, it's going to organize that entire transcript based on the way that students and teachers consume content from their class. I'll show you in just a minute. I'm going to roll on down here to record the meeting automatically. And then this is not a full implementation, so I have to type in my LTI. Typically, you don't have to do that, all right? So now this thing is scheduled. Now, what do you mean this thing is scheduled, Lance? I mean, look, there it is. Today, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Not only is it scheduled here, where I can literally start the class from my laptop, it's also scheduled over here. Come here. So this D10 device that I was talking about, Nowtech sells these. It's an amazing device. It's an all-in-one camera, microphone, speakers. It's now saying, hey, faculty training with Nowtech is going to start in 7 minutes. It's actually going to auto start. Spoiler alert, we're not going to wait 7 minutes, okay? But in our classrooms on campus, every high school classroom, every middle school classroom has one of these. It does exactly what that just did. It automatically starts the class. It automatically starts the recording of the class. It automatically finds the people in the class. And then the teacher might say something like, all right, guys, today I'm so glad you're here. What we want to do is focus on 3 things. Number 1, you have a test on Friday. Okay, you might say something like that in class. Number 2, you want to know what's on that test. It's going to be chapters 10 through 15, roughly pages 175 to 235 in your texts. That's helpful for them, right? And watch those videos, okay, from our other classes. Number 3, if you have questions, I have office hours every Wednesday from 3 to 4:30. Please just go to Moodle and book those. Now let's get started with class. And when I say let's get started with class, what I mean is it's time for me to give some notes, give some information. I'm using a tool called Zoom Whiteboard. Johan mentioned this. It is included in your Zoom license. There is no additional fee for this, no additional charge. These whiteboards are infinite in scope. There's no left, right, north, south. It all works in infamy, A-O-T. My handwriting is pathetic this morning. T-E-C-H. Okay, so real quick, just so you see what's happening, let's bounce back over here. Here's my Moodle site again, right? And inside my Moodle site, I have this thing that says whiteboard. I'm gonna click on it. Right here, there's a thing that says untitled that was fired off at 8:39 a.m. Let's click on it real quick and see what that is. The same whiteboard that I'm writing right now is inside my learning management system. And provided I give learners the ability to do what I'm doing right now, which is write along with me, they are contributing on their Chromebooks, their iPads, their smartphones, all in real time while class is going on. In fact, come here. There it all is, right? Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but I do want to tell you that we can offer those quizzes that you may already have done inside your learning management system. All those captions are here. Translations are here. Here's all my polls and quizzes. I don't have time to get into all of this. Maybe a different day we'll come back and do this. But I'm going to hang this call up. Class is over. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. All right. So class is now done. There it goes. And let's see what's happening over here on the LMS. Back into Moodle, because this is the after class experience now. First thing I want to point out is that whiteboard is still here. All right, now, why is that a big deal? Because as a part of giving notes, I want my students to have access to that. I don't want to take time to upload it, FTP it, copy and paste links and all that. It's all done for me. Now, Johan this entire time has been talking about AI, so I would be remiss if I didn't at least take just a minute here and talk about AI and whiteboard. This is the icon that you're always looking for in Zoom. It's 2 little blue stars. I'm going to click on it. Let's say we want to make some sticky notes. Now, my daughter is an AP English language and literature teacher. So she teaches a text called Call of the Wild. So I'm going to create some sticky notes for me for themes from Call of the Wild. Boom. Now what it's doing, because for teachers, I have the World Wide Web search turned on, okay? It's going out, finding those themes. I'm going to insert them. Here they are, okay? And it's created sticky notes for that particular teacher to use inside their class. They may do a survey. They may do an activity. They may have a timed activity. All of those tools are built into Whiteboard. And again, you own Whiteboard. It's no cost to use this tool, all right? So that's the first thing I would say. It's got to flow seamlessly from class into LMS. Let's look at something else. I mentioned the fact that I have office hours on Wednesday. So here's how I did that. I went into create schedule. I said every Wednesday from this time, and I said 3, not a.m. Boy, I'm not going to be here at 3 a.m. I guarantee you that. 3 to 4, okay? And this is how hard it is to create this stuff, guys. I mean, it's literally just like that, and I'm done with that. Start today, repeat every Wednesday, and apply this to all the courses. Bang. Now, students have the ability to actually come in and book those office hours with me. There's nothing else to do other than that. And it shows up in my calendar, shows up in their calendar, and creates a new unique Zoom link for each one of those office hours. So we don't have to worry about other students coming in on top of us, okay? Let's look at one other thing. I mentioned this idea of summaries. Here's the one we just did. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I don't have to have it on for my students to see. So some of you are like, listen, there's certain ones I want to turn on, certain ones I don't want students to have access to. That is totally up to you as a faculty member. I will turn this on and I will click it. Now I know it's really small on your screen, so just squint hard, okay? The first thing it says is, what's the overview of what happened in class? And then we get into the key concepts or theories that were discussed in class. Here are the important questions that were raised in class. And this section right here is the what you should have learned while you were in class. Key takeaways and the summary of learning objectives. Topic with salient questions and answers. Topic. And then it wasn't long enough to have actionable next steps and assignments, but all of that information is automatically placed inside the learning management system. I can turn it on or turn it off. The next thing Johan mentioned was docs. Now I'm going to pull up the one that I just did is not yet here, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up one real quick. Let's do this one. Here's a doc that was automatically created from a class. All the topics are here. The recording and the transcript is there. The meeting attachments are there. And it looks like a word processor, right? I mean, and I just don't think the word docs does this thing justice. Let me show you why. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, with AI, would you do me a favor, AI? Would you create a 5-question quiz? Would you include a text answer if it's multiple select, multiple choice? Hey, it's up to you. So it has now gone through these notes from class that were automatically taken. Remember, that's just the summary from class. And it has created a quiz with questions and the answer key at the bottom. Conversely, maybe I'm a student. Maybe I want to ask something like this. Would you, let's get to typing here. Would you create, man, I can't type this morning, create a 3-session study guide for me over this information. Boom. So now it's going to go back through, again, that lesson. It's going to pull out the activities for me. And it's going to give me 3 sessions. Starting off the session, activities to do during the session, and things to help me wrap up that session, to help me prepare to study for this test. Now, I can spend hours here. Obviously, there's so many things that we could do, and all this is built into the AI. I sent a chat into the host group that I didn't have rights to actually post a link out to the group at large. If you all would send that over for me, that would be awesome, because it really is a blue paper on what's happening with your data. Some of you are like, Lance, I'm totally wigged out right now. You're just saying this in class and all this stuff is happening. What happened to my data? Where did it go? How did it land at Zoom? What are you doing with that data? All that information is inside that link. So grab that link before you get out of here. One last thing, and it may not be done yet, is the recording from today's class. There's the recording from today's class. I'm going to click on it. Now, it may not be fully baked yet, so apologies, please, if it's not working. There is the attempt to chapter it. Now, again, it was only 2 minutes and 19 seconds long. So AI has decided it's all just one chapter, and it's put a caption for that chapter. Here's a summary of what happened. Here's the transcript of what actually happened. And I have the ability to switch that transcript into other languages if I want to. Let's just change this little part into Hebrew real quickly. And so what it's doing is it's going through the entire transcript, and it's translating it into Hebrew. It is now searchable in Hebrew as a part of the student's experience. And then as a teacher, obviously no one's watched this yet, but I have a list of statistics. Who watched what? How much of it did they watch? Did they comment on it? Everything, and the date and the time that they did all that. Everything is here for me. So this is all wrapped into your learning management system, in your case, Moodle. Now, I did that extremely fast, and I'm sorry that I went so fast, but I wanted you to see the power of how the Zoom suite of tools plays together. Many times people just think, oh, it's a meeting. Oh, it's a Zoom phone call. Oh, it's no. It's how it all comes together that is truly the power in education. So, Olivier, I'll pitch it back to you, my friend.
Yes.
And we'll go from there.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ford. So yeah, this is really interesting about teaching. Actually, we have a question about how Zoom Room does integrate with Moodle. Can you tell us a little bit?
Absolutely. So the way that Zoom Room integrates with Moodle is inside the marketplace. When you go into marketplace.zoom.us and you deploy Moodle, there's a little tag, a little tick box that you can turn on that says, use the following rooms, or let people choose from the following rooms as a part of scheduling their meetings. So what I did at that point was I said, make sure you can allow this D10 to be a part of that experience. And you see it automatically started again. So sorry about that. So when that happened, when I booked the meeting, it went to the D10 and said, hey, you've got a meeting at 8:45 in the morning. Now, all of my Zoom rooms are set to automatically start at the beginning of class and automatically stop at the beginning of class. My meetings are set to automatically record and transcribe, all right? And I know you guys don't have AI yet, but also AI. So the teacher has nothing to do rather than walk in the class and simply start teaching. They open up the whiteboard, they start using the whiteboard. The Zoom room allows you to wirelessly share content. The Zoom room allows these moments of digital signage between class, right? That's what's happening in our classrooms across campus right now. All those things are built into Zoom room. So at that point, it's just a Zoom room experience. Class stops automatically. The recording starts processing. The AI summary starts processing. The transcript starts processing. The doc gets created. All of those things are totally automated as well. So the Zoom room is core for me because it's the camera, the microphone, the speakers, the whiteboard, the wireless sharing, the digital signage that happens in all of my rooms.
Yeah, this is great. Really seeing how fast how better we can teach, and also how better we can study. So it is good for the teachers and for the students. I'm always amazed of our capabilities to to learn more and faster. And actually, there is a question about how, and maybe that's for you in general. Now that we see that classroom become more automated with AI and technology in general, how can university make sure that students and teachers still feel more connected and engaged with each other?
That is a great question. So the power of Zoom AI, at least for me as a teacher, is really around the fact that this content is what I said in class. All right. And I will show you one other thing to kind of illustrate this point. Over the course of our time together this morning, I have had another meeting running because we didn't actually have Zoom AI turned on in this webinar. So this other meeting, I brought my avatar up, so you won't have to see me like 3 times. But the power here is that inside the classroom, sometimes a student is going to be struggling with a particular topic, or maybe their brain went to sleep for a minute on them. They have this ability to hit what topics have been discussed. And so even if they don't understand a topic, they can start here with the AI experience inside the live class, and then they can use that to further their knowledge base. So when they ask the faculty member the question, they have a little more background. It really helps the faculty member and the student build relationship because all this content are the things that are happening in my class. And you see these numbers. I know they're hard to see. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When I click on these, those are actual moments inside the transcript where it's taking that information from. So sometimes faculty members are concerned that students are getting information that may have been hallucinated by AI. created by AI out of nowhere, not in the Zoom world. We really box in what's happening here inside our class to say, you can only pull information from what has been stated so far, okay? And that knowledge check is here. So for me, it's about the fact that the content you're using AI with is the content the teacher stated, and it accelerates your ability to learn and grasp more of that. I hope that made sense, Olivier.
Yes, it does. It does. And we all see now that Zoom is much more than just a meeting. It's a complete platform. And just to add on to what you said, Dr. Ford, there is also, of course, this part of the AI that can help during the meetings, during the teaching. But also Zoom has a platform that's called Work Vivo that's also help to make these students and teachers and all these universities, people working on campus, we get more close to each other. That's by itself a separate webinar that we can have. About Hebrew, I know that everyone is interested about when and what about Hebrew. So, as you know, Hebrew transcript is already enabled on most universities in Israel. So you're capable of getting the transcript of the sessions after they happens. And very soon we should get the Zoom AI in Hebrew, and we are still waiting, but it's definitely, we are not forgetting, and it should come anytime soon.
Absolutely.
One last thing about caption and translation. As you saw, there is caption and translation in all languages, and this is something that you can enable on your site as well. You can contact us if you want us to enable this for you, and but it's an option that you're definitely welcome to use.
Yeah, it's very handy for me, Olivier, because Johan and I, as you see now, we deal with a lot of people globally, right? And I barely speak English, to be quite honest with you. So having the ability to have everything translated, Johan's much sharper than I. He speaks 3 or 4 languages. Right? So I have this running at all times in the background for translation. And it really does help build the bridge between me and the folks that I'm working with, the faculty members I'm working with.
Okay.
I just want to add something that just to we work with Zoom for a long time, and we're here in Israel, and we promote it with the Higher Education Institute, mostly in the COVID, and after that, and I saw this presentation today. I just want to say that I'm really impressed. The solution that you offer, the wide scope, and the different aspects of the learning and teaching, it's amazing. I think when it will be here and relevant for our audience here in Israel, that will do a big change and brings lots of solutions that we are looking for and like to integrate in our learning and teaching. The way that you combine with the AI and the teacher and the student's perspective, and the way that you are integrated to the LMS, I think this is a very right direction of promoting this issue, and I think it's a definitely thing that can help us here in Israel and of course all over the world. So thank you for this presentation. We will really like to learn that a little bit more and see how we can take it to the next stage and integrate it to the platform and to the Higher Education Institute in Israel in a better way with all these amazing solutions that you offer.
Thank you so much for those kind words. I always love working with faculty members because when they leave, there are many times, I had a group in Colorado last week, many times they leave and go, I just didn't know. I just knew Zoom as a pandemic video conferencing tool, right? And to see what all Zoom has become is so, so powerful and so changing. So thank you for having us this morning.
Well, I think we managed to answer most of the questions. Johan, Dr. Ford, it was a pleasure having you with us. Eli and the entire Metal team, thank you for collaboration and support. We truly believe in the power of remote and hybrid education, and we are grateful for the opportunity to keep exploring this field together. We will be back soon with more events and webinars, so stay tuned. We will also send out the recording, so feel free to share it with your colleagues. Have a great day.
Thank
Thank you very much.
you.
Thank you.